All right. You know what? Forget intros, whatever. Let's just get into it.
You
Matt.
got wait. You got to do the CBS Sports intro. Basketball. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Yeah, Chris and Dylan on the mic, straight from Queens Turf. Podcast game strong, Jets, Knicks, Rangers, Murph. Mets and Yankees, dream Bronx to Shea. In the city that never sleeps, sports don't play. NY faithful, we're repping our teams. Jets fly high and up and down both trains. From courts to fields, can't walk away. Queens talk sports each and every day. Chopped cheese breakfast, bagels by noon. Pizza slice nights over New York tune. Game stats fly while the meatball simmers. Chris with the takes, Dylan drops singers. Microphones buzzing like city lights. From Knicks brick shots to Rangers fights. Taste of NYC in every fight. Chris and Dylan, sports talk ignite. NY faithful,
Welcome to
we're
the Any
repping our
Sports
teams.
Podcast. We'll talk about anything at any given time, but
The main focus is always New York.
You got
oh
to do
my
it
god.
every time I watch St. John's now. I can't
Oh,
help it.
this is this got bad fast. In one
Dude,
road
I didn't
trip
see this coming. Yeah,
went
it was a
four.
disaster.
Did did those games count toward our record?
Yeah, of course, the regular games.
I wasn't sure if because it was like some special invitational tournament.
No, I mean like I don't know. They definitely count, but the Baylor one, man.
That was rough. So yeah, let's
Like
just let's just overview St. John's 4-0 to start. They go to the Caribbean and their vacation did not go as planned. They were in the Bahamar tournament.
Amar.
And then were they in some other tournament after? The Georgia game was part of that same tournament. It was
No,
not.
the Georgia game was weird. It was just a separate game at
Yeah.
Atlantis, also in the Bahamas,
Yeah.
but not at the
Um,
same place.
I know I was super confused by that at first, but yeah. So we played Baylor in the first round of the tourney. Um, Went to double OT, buzzer beater by Baylor to win it. Should have never been in that situation. Then we
No, 18.
absolutely, yeah. Then we absolutely shit on Virginia to follow that up, which was nice. I didn't feel as confident as you did after that game because, and for good reason, we
Yeah,
lose to freaking Georgia
for good
afterwards.
reason.
So yeah,
The
I mean
Georgia loss was very bad.
that I don't know which was worse because like Baylor is 13 ranked, so like it doesn't look as bad, even though I think Baylor is a
No,
false 13 in my opinion.
I don't know, man. They got a lot of guys that can score. They got a lot of guys
Oh,
that can get to the basket,
they have the guy
and they
from
have
Long
that.
Island, the kid from Long
What the hell's
Island,
his name? Yeah, what's
Edgecombe,
his name?
VJ
Edgecombe,
Edgecombe.
BJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean
He didn't even
he's
play well.
no, he played like crap. I was gonna say like I know he's good, but like in that game he did not look like the highly touted freshman that he was.
No, not
Um,
at all.
Yeah, and most of that was just him missing shit and not really playing himself. Because St. John's, they did a
Yeah,
decent job on defense on him, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like that game. It showed some of those flaws that I've mentioned in the pod and that we've talked about outside of it. That
right.
like they start off slow, even though in that game they didn't start off slow.
hmm
Um, and they just have these like lapses mentally that lead to really bad play. And that was like finally the true test against a legitimate ranked team where it kind of exposed that. So I'm hoping to God that they clean that up. They come back from this trip. They play today at 5. Um, I forget against who, but
Harvard.
yeah. Who?
Harvard has been a. I don't know
Oh,
how they are this year. I
Harvard.
haven't looked, but
I,
they've been a tournament team, man.
I didn't listen 100%, and I could have sworn you said they're playing against Al Horford.
Just
Just
five on
him.
one. Yeah, 5-on-1. He could do it.
But what are your
Maybe younger Al
thoughts?
Horford.
Right. What are your thoughts for the Baylor game? And we'll just kind of overview the whole trip to the Bahamas that was a train wreck. What's your
Yeah,
thoughts after all that?
I mean the Baylor game. It was in hand, man. At halftime, I was like, "The game's over. Like we're
Right.
getting a ranked win. This thing's done." And
We would.
then,
You think we would have cracked top 20?
yeah, 100%
I
beating
thought so.
Baylor,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought so too.
And then seems like we came out in the second half forcing a lot of shots. I think they rely on the three a little bit too much,
Mm-hmm.
especially when Zuby's having such a good year. Um,
Zuby's the fucking
and then
reason we lost.
I was gonna say that was my next point. We gotta hit our fucking free throws. It's like death taxes and St. John's missing free throws to win games.
Yeah,
Like
man.
you hit those free throws, the game is over. We're not
It
talking about
it was
this.
literally over. It should have been over in regulation, and then it should have been over in the first overtime, and
Yeah,
then yeah, Zuby also had a blunder on the other end of the court. I think like right before that, like he had a
yeah.
bad positioning on rebounding. I
He
think
has
it
a lot
was.
of mental mistakes.
Yeah, and it's just he's the captain, right? I think I learned that recently.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah. It's
know that.
him.
I didn't know that.
I can't remember who else honestly, but
RJ's got to be
um,
up there now.
who is?
RJ,
It's
he's
probably RJ. I just didn't want to
elder
say it if I wasn't
statesman.
sure.
I'm not sure. I'm
But
just I'm pulling a Chris right now. I have no idea.
um, but yeah, that game. Like you said, I think it showed some flaws that they have. They need to play better defense. They got to keep up with these better scorers. There were a lot of open shots for Baylor that they even missed. Like you said, Edgecombe was open, did have
Hmm.
decent looks, and he just missed them.
Yeah.
So it maybe it was even just lucky that we were ahead in that game.
Yeah. I don't know if it was luck. I think this team is genuinely like a top 20 team. They just
Yeah.
they just have to get there mentally because like they just like it's almost like they either get full of themselves or they just they're just not 100% locked in all the time, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's a Patino thing. Patino's got to get these guys locked in even better than he already
Yes.
does because like they lock in when they go down. They usually this season at least they've usually made significant comebacks. So they know
Yeah.
how
You know
to
what?
they know how to handle adversity. So
The thing I've noticed is that the guys that came back from, I mean, Simeon Wilcher is doing okay at best. He had
I
a good
love
first
his
few
game.
games.
I think he's got
Me too. I think
I
he's
think
going to
he's got
continue to get better.
yeah, I think he's got potential. Um So yeah, I think Wilshire he's got something there. RJ Lewis has
There's
a
definitely
beautiful
something there.
game
He's
when
just got to
he's
harness
on
it,
court.
man.
Yeah,
When he lets it fly, like he's a good player, man.
got a great jump
Um,
shot when it's on.
yeah. So
You know, speaking of players, Kadari, I think he's
yeah,
overrated.
yeah.
I don't like his game. His dribble gets
Interesting.
sloppy at times.
Yes, it does. He forces it a little bit.
His jump shot is
Got
not
good court
consistent.
vision though.
He does. His jump shot is not consistent enough. He can't shoot free
Kind of
throws worth
ugly.
a shit.
Yeah, his shot's
Jeez.
kind of ugly,
It's ugly,
right?
but like it goes
Like
in.
very like
It's
you know
got
like
like a
overhead.
little not I don't even want to say a hitch to it, but it's something
It's got
off.
a little hitch to
It
it.
does, right? Okay.
Yeah, it like
His
kind of stops at the top and then like slow
yeah,
up
his
to
D to me
release.
is eh.
Yeah.
It can be very
Honestly,
iffy.
I see him as just a passer.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the scorer I thought he was.
I thought he was going to be more of a slasher when he came here. Like
Yeah.
he has the body to be able to get to the basket at will. Not
do.
maybe all the time at will, but yeah, his game is pissing me
mean,
off.
It's early in the season with a new team, new coach. He might just be feeling it out. Hopefully, he'll figure it out as once we get into the Big East season. It's
Yeah.
also, you know what? This is something I've learned just from watching them for so long, is that the Big East season is very different than the Big East plays different than the rest of the big conferences. It's a very physical, very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but very physical game.
Yeah.
And a lot of other teams, it doesn't always work against some of the other teams, some of the other conferences, like
That's
the
true.
Baylors and the Georgias, and it doesn't always work for some reason. I can't really figure out why, but it's just a different game. It's in the Big East. It always has been.
They have a little bit more like bully ball in the Big East.
Yeah.
I think though, I think we have the personnel with this team to be able to do both. Like we have our bully guys,
Yeah.
but then we have shooters, we have some finesse. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think that it's almost like the Knicks right now where like new players getting acclimated, give them time.
Takes time.
What?
Takes time
Yeah.
to get fully acclimated, man.
The thing is that in college basketball, you can't lose while you're trying to get acclimated.
You only have 30 games.
So
It's not a lot.
I think we hit panic button if by like after or around Christmas we really haven't figured it out.
Yeah,
I think that's when you got to
it's
start to panic.
teams are going to lose games. It sucks. I think they gave them a little bit of leeway with the travel, with being away for multiple days. They had 3 games in 4 days.
Yeah.
Like that Georgia game to me was, I think they were tired. Like I think they were
It,
shot.
well, yeah, after playing a double overtime and then playing your heart out to
The
Mollywop,
next
Virginia.
day, yeah, and then two
Uh,
days later they're in another game at a different location.
yeah.
So,
I need to research that more of why that game, like,
which I guarantee they probably had to move to a different hotel, and it was like a whole thing. And so it was. I think they gave them a little bit of leeway on
because
that
they're
because
still,
they dropped them out of the top 25, but they're still
did they?
like the third team out.
Because they were
Yeah.
still 22 last I checked.
No, no. After Monday, they dropped them out. Well, the one I saw, they dropped them
Oh
out.
yeah, Xavier's number 22 now. Bullshit.
Yeah.
We have
So-
we have 4 ranked teams in the Big East.
So that's what I was telling you, man. That's why I'm not panicking yet because
It's a good
you got
good conference.
what Marquette, UConn, Creighton, and Xavier.
UConn, Creighton, Xavier, Marquette, yeah.
So you got 4 ranked teams that you play twice. You
Well-
got a chance for some really good wins there.
We'll be back. I had my pissy moment, same as you, after that road. I don't even want to call it a road trip. It was more of a vacation. They're in a completely different country. But
Yeah, it's like-
like I was really pissed. But I'm back on board.
Okay.
Not that I was ever off board necessarily, but
you were worried.
I was definitely worried. But my faith I think is back. I'm hoping we bounce back today. It'd be a nice bounce back if we get a good dub here, not like a claw out at the last minute.
Yeah.
Like we need a comfortable win today to get back in the good graces.
Yeah. You know what I would like to see today? I'm looking at some of the stats, and I feel like he's not using their depth right now. They got a lot of good players.
He so he uses some of the depth, but it always feels to me like it's at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Like he sticks with Dunlap too long sometimes. He'll
but even
insert
some of their size they don't use. They got
the
two
big
guys
guy.
over 7 feet tall.
Yeah, they got the big guy. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even attempt to try and say his name.
It's almost-
Iwuchukwu, maybe.
It's
I think that was pretty
it's
good.
like when Chance the Rapper is like, there's a V, an R, and a Q in that name. I'm good.
I'm good on that. And there's 2 guys that I'm surprised I haven't seen more of. I knew they weren't going to start, but I thought they were going to play a little bit more. And that's Ruben Prey, and I think he's from like Portugal or something like that. And this is a guy I'm not going to try to attempt his name. The Greek guy, Lefteris or whatever.
Yeah. Hold on, let me
Dude,
try to
I got to be
pull it.
honest. I felt like I heard
Wait,
all
I heard-
summer about how good this guy was.
I heard
How
good
much he was
things.
like, how much of it.
Maybe just
Right?
new country or whatever. He's not ready for it.
Maybe he's only played 4 minutes a game.
I'm gonna
I gotta
go
be
for
honest,
the.
I haven't even seen him
I'm gonna
play.
go
So
for these games. With these names. We have. I'm gonna just go down the roster. We have Sadiku Ibn Ayo. We have Vince. What a name! You have Vince as a regular name, and then his last
Yeah.
name Iwuchukwu.
yeah, Vince.
And then the cream of the crop, we have Lefteris Leotopoulos.
That's pretty good.
Leotopoulos. Leotopoulos.
That's pretty good. That's probably how it's pronounced. But also, Aaron Scott, big fan.
Yeah, he drains them.
Big fan of Aaron Scott.
He drains
I
them.
feel like he does everything pretty well.
Oh, he plays an all-around good game, but the dude's got a Jimmy. He's got a jumper.
Yeah, he does.
Like he hits them from outside, which is honestly something I thought we needed because Wilcher was on and off with his shooting.
Yeah. And Dunlap is on and off.
Who the hell's the point guard's name again? Davon Smith. He can shoot, but also is spotty.
Dude, did something happen with him, Smith?
When?
I saw something on Twitter this morning that's like, oh, like Smith has rejoined the team and like will apologize or something. But I didn't hear about what happened.
Let's see. I didn't hear anything about that. I've been very out of the loop.
I happened to
Davon.
see it on Twitter this morning. I'm sorry, on X.
No, we don't call it that.
No, I'm glad you guys don't because I can't do it.
It's not a fucking porn site. Everybody, no, even like legitimate publicators and stuff, they'll say or they'll put every time like posted on X, formerly Twitter. They put it with
Yeah,
every like nobody wants to officially call it X because if you Google X, X is not the only thing that comes
no,
up.
it's gonna bring you into multiple places.
Um. Oh, how Rick Pitino decided on defiant Davon Smith's punishment after poor benching reaction.
Oh, did he get benched?
Apparently,
Again, I don't. To be fair, I will say this: I
against
didn't watch
Georgia.
all of the Georgia game,
Yeah, I stopped watching, so that's exactly why.
so
We
I
lost.
watched the end. I missed the beginning
He
because
got
I thought that
benched.
that I thought the Georgia game was here. I thought it was the next day. I didn't realize it was still in
Bahamas.
uh, Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm looking. Harvard's not very good this year, so hopefully this is a good
Bounce back.
uh, rebound game. Just
Mm-hmm.
just crush them, get a couple days off, because then they don't play again for another week.
I like what Patino said though. He said, "I told the entire team, winning, losing, playing great, playing poorly. This is the standard we set. This is how we expect you to act." Ain't I thought it said ain't nobody. Anybody who doesn't act like that doesn't play. I'm fine with that.
Okay,
It's
I
college
love it.
basketball. I don't care if players get paid now. They should get
No,
benched.
I said you're
Y'all,
not playing hard. You're not following through. You're
yeah.
not helping the team. Get on the bench.
We're playing at home. We're at Carnesecca Arena today. Um, yeah,
We
man.
got Kansas State in a week. Also, they're pretty good.
I would, yeah, I would expect a big game from Smith now, though, with that transpiring.
I know.
Like
I mean, I would hope so after that.
he's either gonna implode or he's gonna come out and ball the hell out and prove that he should have never been benched.
Do you remember where he transferred from?
No. Once they
Me
get to St.
neither.
John's, I don't care.
I gotta be honest. I'm usually pretty good about where they transferred from.
Mississippi
Like I know
State.
Zuby, Mississippi State. Interesting. I don't. I feel like I didn't hear his name at all.
No, but
Um,
he's solid, man. He's got good game.
they
He
announced the starting five for today.
mm, no.
No, right? I would like to see Wilcher in there over Smith. You know,
Wilbur Smith.
let him
Okay.
play. Obviously, Smith's got to play, but let Wilcher start. I don't like to reward that type of me first behavior in college.
I totally agree, but it's a business now, unlike any other. So
Unfortunately, it is.
I'm trying to
But yeah,
see.
as we get closer to the Big East schedule, I would like to see some of those big guys start to get some minutes. And a guy I would like, now seeing that Harvard's 2-5, would love to see some Jaden Glover today.
I'd be with
Get him
that.
some minutes.
Like
You know?
let's get a nice 15-point lead and just experiment like at the end of the first half.
Yeah, right.
You
Like
know, even if they
if
come
you get
back,
up,
like you got a lock on it.
yeah,
I
let the
can't
guy
find
play a
the.
little bit. He's a 4-star recruit.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was a big recruit for them.
Did not know that, honestly.
Him and one of the big guys, was it? I can't remember which one. There was another guy I think that was supposed to be really good that they got. I can't remember. Should have done a little bit more research.
It's all
Also, I'm
good.
looking stuff up on my phone as if I'm not on a computer right now.
I'm trying to find. We don't have. There's no roster or lineup for today yet.
No, but I'm very interested to see it, honestly. Yeah, for some reason I thought they were playing at 12 today, and I thought that's why you wanted to do it now. I was like, oh, he wants to do it while we're on.
That actually would have made some sense. I don't always make some
That's why
sense
I was
though.
like, damn, okay. Oh, come on, Maker. That
Oh,
was the other guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
7'2", freshman. Um, Again, another guy hasn't played at all.
But at this point, it's like I don't know. Just throw size in there to have size. Like
You know what though?
those are large human
He,
being LHBs, large human beings, like I like to say.
I know. He's like
Um,
fourth on the depth chart in that area though. Like you got Iwuchukwu, we got the other guy. I don't know. I can't even pronounce these dudes' names. So um,
good thing is we're 4-0 at home. Um, but we're 0-2 in one possession games. So and
Yeah, it's
Harvard's
not
0
good.
and 4 in road games. So everything
You got to hope
says,
that that's a learning moment,
yeah, everything
teaching
says
moment.
that this should be a lock. We should win.
Hmm.
Crimson are 0 and 4 in road. We're 4 and 0 at home. So they are allowing 73 points.
It's not good.
Yeah. So
It's
we
not good.
we average just a hair, literally a hair under 83, 82.9 points a game. Um
That's,
this should be a lock, but I know sports well
yeah,
enough to know that nothing is a lock. So
nothing's
I
a
didn't
lock.
I didn't know RJ is averaging 16.7 points a game. That's really good.
Dude, he's crushing it. He's doing everything.
He's got a great
And
game.
his shot is definitely better this year. You can see
Oh
he
yeah.
worked on it, but
Oh yeah.
his finishing ability, man, like is
Yeah.
it took a jump.
Sad part is that like I love when our guys go on to be good pros. I think at most he's like a end of bench guy, maybe middle of the bench guy in the NBA.
I mean, you got to remember, man. He's. I don't think he's not a senior. He's
He's
got
not.
time.
I thought he was a senior.
He is a junior,
Oh, that's even better.
so he could stay another year if he wanted to. With Patino, like he's getting better every year. Who's to say?
Right.
You know.
I think that's a
I
smart
do
move.
think he's going to end up by the end of the season, just being. He's going to be their by far their main scorer.
Yeah. He should
You
be
know.
the closer. I just don't see it from Kadari. He looks almost
I
overwhelmed at
agree.
times
I agree.
with
I've been
like
a little
when
disappointed.
yeah, I was very excited to get him to bring him over and for him to play the way he has is definitely disheartening because of how excited I was. Um, but you know, like you said, acclimation process. I'm gonna reserve my second judgment because I definitely had a first judgment in the Bahamas.
Hmm.
I'm gonna reserve my next judgment until around Christmas time, and then we can revisit this then and see how they're doing. I think every couple months, not that would be 1 month ahead, but every couple months after, like let's say what end of January, February, we can revisit again, do another special episode. Right, that's essentially right before the tourney, and hopefully we are right in the thick of it, and we don't get absolutely fucking shit on before the tournament
Yeah.
again this year.
I mean, to be honest, I think the Big East schedule is going to be big for them. I think there's not really any team like in the past. It was always UConn that like, all right, like that's the big guy you got to get past. UConn's good this year, but they're not like number one, number two. You know, they're a good team, but they also just lost 2 games back to back. I think.
Yeah, they're not.
So
They're
they also didn't too great in where they were in Maui or something like that, or some invitational.
that's a. I'd honestly.
They were in
don't know.
some tournament. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But they just lost 2 in a row too. So there's no big name, big, scary team out in the Big East this year. There's a lot of good teams, but St. John's can be right up there with them, and I don't see why they won't be.
Yeah, I mean UConn is ranked number 2 in the country, but it's like a very fluid number 2. Like I feel like they could lose
That's what I
that
mean.
very easily.
I'm actually surprised they're ranked that high.
Yeah, I didn't realize it either until I just looked back at it. I was like, what are they ranked?
I
Marquette
feel like
is
sometimes early in the season they rank names higher
Yeah.
just because they don't know how good teams
as
are.
long as they're winning, they'll get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
But all of them are 22 or better in the Big East, the ones that are ranked. So we have UConn at number 2, Marquette at number 10, Creighton at 21. I gotta imagine that changes. Creighton's not gonna stay top 25 the whole season, I don't think.
Why don't you think so?
I don't know. It might just be past for me. Like I don't know. Creighton seems to like dip in and out of top 25, but like they usually end up
Yeah.
in the thick of it right at the end of the
That's a
season.
well-coached team, though. You know how hard that team
Yeah.
is to beat.
I'll give them the benefit. They will stay. I'll change my
Yeah.
mind on that. Xavier, I don't think will stay top 25.
Dude, do you have the Big East standings in front of you right now? I haven't looked at them until right now.
Yes, but I don't know if this is actually. This
Do you see
doesn't.
who's number one?
I'm not looking at this right. This can't be DePaul number 1, right?
DePaul is 7
Okay.
and 0.
I'm not bugging. Okay.
Have
Yeah.
they played anyone? Let's see. I
I thought this wasn't actually showing them in order.
mean, they've played nobody.
That makes sense. That's why they're not ranked.
I mean,
also.
maybe the best team they've played is Valpo. but
That's a shit best team to have played.
yeah, so they got Texas Tech, Providence, Wichita State, and St. John's coming up as their next 4 games. So we could be looking at 7-4. So
Yeah. And then
Butler's looking
Marquette,
pretty good.
Butler.
Georgetown's 5-1.
It's funny that UConn is number 2 in the country and second to last with Villanova in the
Dude,
conference.
that's why I'm confused. They lost a, they
They're
lost
four and
3 games in a row.
yeah, they're 4-3.
They lost to Memphis, Colorado, and Dayton.
They have well, they probably have a better looking set of losses and wins than anyone else
2 of the games they lost by 1 point and 2 points. But
against, I'm assuming, ranked
um,
teams or no.
honestly, they lost by 18 to Dayton.
That's bad. To Dayton?
To Dayton. I mean, Dayton
Okay.
has a good program. I'm not gonna lie, but they're not.
They're good enough,
It's
but
not.
not somebody you should be losing by 22 as ranked number 2.
That's what I mean. I think they're way overhyping UConn.
Yeah.
Villanova's not been good this year either.
4
They'll
and 4
probably figure it out eventually, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yes, they're still a good program, but Jay Wright was the reason that they were good for so long.
I
He
know.
was like the
But
Gino Auriemma of that. Like he was the sole reason.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Overall, you think they're making the tournament this year?
I'm gonna stick with my prediction before the season, which was hell yeah. I don't see why not. I think this is a better team than we had last year. I think the players we brought back are improved. I think the players we brought in, some of them are better than who we had last year. And like I think all the things that caused our losses recently, um, I think those are things you could very much so tighten up and get right,
Yeah.
especially within a few games, let alone a few months. And we have 4-ish months until the tourney. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that they get their shit together. This too good of a team, and you have Patino as the head coach. I just can't imagine that this gets worse. I,
Yeah.
I, I
I
think it's
agree
like
with that.
maybe a roller coaster for a hot second, and then I just think we're gonna get back on track. I really do. What about you?
I agree. I think the next few games are a good chance for them to reset. They got Harvard, Kansas State. Kansas State's good, but they're nothing crazy. Bryant and DePaul. And then Providence and Delaware. Providence is okay this year.
We could very much
So,
so go 6-0 in our next six.
and they should be 6-0 if
Yeah.
everything goes right. There's really no reason why they wouldn't be 6-0 in that. The only one
But
I could say is maybe Providence, but
I'll sprinkle in a
just
loss
because,
just to be somewhat realistic, so I'll say they'll go 5-1.
yeah, it's also at Providence, so anything can happen. But
Yeah.
overall, yeah, to be honest, I think they're still in the mix to win the Big East. Um, I don't know whether that's the regular season Big East or the conference tournament, but I think
I,
they're going to be right in the mix for all of it. Patino's teams we've watched, they get better as the year goes on.
hmm
What they are in November is never what they are
Not even
in
close.
March.
And
So
what we
it's
are
night
in
and day.
November is honestly pretty good. Let's look at this on the positive. We took a number 13 team the distance double overtime. That's what it took for them to beat
Yeah,
us. So,
exactly. And we just got to play 2 consistent halves, and we went when that game's over.
yep.
Um, so yeah, I think they're still going to end up having a good year. They got a lot more opportunities for big wins, and also, I'll say it like this: if you win your conference, you don't need to worry about getting selected for the tournament because
Yeah,
you're in.
you're automatically
So
in.
win the conference and don't worry about it.
Just from a more basketball, more fun standpoint, I'd kind of rather them get in because of winning the Big East tournament because that is always really
Dude,
hype to me. Like
dude, yeah,
that's always really fun when you get in because you won the like your conference's tourney. But yeah,
yep.
I from a mental standpoint, I would much rather them seal it up, win the conference, not even worry about a thing.
Honestly,
That'd be wild if they
I
won the conference and then UConn had to find their way in.
yeah, that would
That'd
make
be
me so happy. Honestly,
that'd be
honestly,
nuts.
like if they make it to the Big East tournament game, championship, sorry, I think I might go to that game. Honestly,
I'm with you. We'll call it now, even though
we'll
every
say.
time I've said we'll go to a game if they make it far somewhere, it hasn't panned out yet on the pod. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
if
those are like $100. Those aren't like super
yeah.
expensive, you know?
No,
They're
but
like
I'm
maybe
I'm still
100 to
I'm still
150.
a man of my word. If it was a Subway World Series, I was gonna bring us.
Well, yeah, that
Um,
one I feel like we kind of have to, you know?
we what?
We kind of had to if it was a Subway Series,
Oh yeah, yeah, for 100%.
just
But
for the
like
content alone.
that too. But yeah, I will say that with you, if they go to the tourney, we definitely have to go to a game. If they go to the
That'd
Big
be
East
cool.
tourney, make it to the championship, we're going to that game. Deal?
I would love to go to the Big East Championship. Big East, yeah. Dude, I think
We
they can do it. So,
for the audio listeners, we just shook hands virtually. It
yeah.
was embarrassing, but no here nor there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna go if that happens. But yeah, I think we can wrap
All
it up
right.
there. This is a good
Yeah.
little episode for some New York college basketball. It's New York's team. You can't tell me otherwise.
Hell yeah.
When St. John's is good, college basketball is different. Just like how I say when New York teams are good, all the other sports are better off for it.
Yeah. Before we go, I just have to say Chris tried to get me to say that I would root for Syracuse. And because he was like, no, New York, man. I'm like, fuck Syracuse.
So all right, whoever is from upstate, that's great. You probably live a great life and everything. Upstate New York is a
Yeah.
different country compared to New York, New
Yeah.
York. Um,
Yeah.
Boroughs
That's why
and
we
Long
don't talk about the
Island,
Bills either.
yeah, exactly. Boroughs and Long Island is New York, and everything else is upstate New York. That has its own title.
Very
It's
different
it's a
world.
it's a different state. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you guys
You
want
guys don't
upstate
want to
New
associate with us, and the feeling is mutual.
Facts. If you want upstate New York sports, you can go listen to another podcast. We from New York.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
speaking of, we are the Any Sports Podcast. We'll talk about anything at any given time. But
The main focus is always New York.
there we go. I finally got to do it because
I
Chris
had to put
stole
a
like
little
the last,
Chris
yeah,
on it.
his little accent. But he stole the last three from me. He
Exactly.
took my spot in the outro. But yeah, all right. We'll see
What?
y'all in the next. Yeah, it's been real fun. He hops right in front of me and takes my call. He's like a
It's fucked
really
up.
bad color commentating sidekick where he just steps on your
Yeah.
call. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll catch y'all in the next full episode. It'll be me and Chris next time, and we'll see Cuzzy Matt again soon. Maybe we'll talk Giants. I don't
See
know.
you guys soon. Hell yeah. I'll be
See ya.
back.
Yeah, Chris and Dylan on the mic, straight from Queens Podcast game strong, Jets, Knicks, Rangers, Murph, Mets and Yankees, dream Bronx to Shea. In the city that never sleeps, sports don't play. NY faithful, we're repping our teams. Jets fly high and I pick out both dreams. From courts to fields, can't walk away. Queens talk sports each and every day. Chopped cheese breakfast, bagels by noon. Pizza slice nights over New York tune. Game stats fly while the meatball simmers. Chris with the takes, Dylan drops zingers. Microphones buzzing like city lights. From Knicks brick shots to Rangers fights. Taste of NYC in every fight. Chris and Dylan, sports talk ignite. NY faithful, we're repping our teams.